Do you want to know how Leia got a holster?
Sorry.
No, I don't give a
Dude, that's all Star Wars is now. Dice, holster, Luke's spaceship. Where did Yoda get his cane? I need a I need a series on how Yoda got his cane.
That is season 2. Yoda's lost his cane on Dagobah, and Kenobi's the only one who can help him find it.
I can't walk without it.
Nerdrotic.com.
Obi-Wan Kenobi has wrapped on Disney Plus, or D Plus is what I like to call it, bringing back Ewan McGregor as the titular character, telling the story of how he was forced off Tatooine.
Forced off?
He chose.
Pretty sure that was a decision.
Yeah,
It was a bad decision, but he chose.
It's not about the boy. Fuck the boy. Fuck Luke. This is about Leia. This is about elevating Leia. Okay.
Forced off Tatooine between Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars, and pitting him against his former Padawan learner, Darth Vader. The series as a whole proved to be extremely popular amongst fans, breaking viewership records on their own streaming service, according to themselves. However, despite its success, a portion of the Star Wars fan base has expressed that the show would have been better story as a standalone film. I think a portion of us were saying it should have never been told. Stephen Daldry and Hossein Amini were brought on to direct and write the film originally, respectively, before the project shifted into episode format with the launch of on D Plus in 2019. Joby Harold was subsequently brought on to repurpose the fucking script. To take over as head writer, repurposer, paving the way for the version director Deborah Chow eventually brought to D+. And yeah, this one's all on her plate.
Do you remember how much praise she got back in the day for a Mandalorian episode?
I do.
That's gone.
They should have Deborah Chow direct a trilogy. That's what I heard. She can't
her direction in this season was piss.
Well, her direction was all over the fucking place, literally. Fucking that shaky cam was doing my head in.
That was terrible.
When
you could see it, like shaky cam in the dark.
The best combo.
That's right. It's like close your eyes and shake your head. That's what it was like. Now, project's very first writer has opened up and how his plan for Obi-Wan Kenobi's story didn't just comprise of one theatrical feature, but 3. It was going to be a trilogy, right, Jeremy? Out there, wasn't just a movie. It was a trilogy. God, that would have been fucking terrible. In an exclusive interview with the direct's Nathan Johnson, Obi-Wan Kenobi's Stuart Beadle talked about his role in making the Ewan McGregor Star Project and how it was originally imagined as a full trilogy. Oh, it's Beatty. Sorry. I say Beetle. It's Beatty, like beady eyes. Was credited as a writer for episodes 1, 2, and 3, and the season finale of the series. Now, I want you to let that sink in. This man who wrote this movie back fucking 2019, prior to COVID, got a writer credit for fucking 4 of the 6 episodes that he had nothing to do with. So that means enough of his material was left in there that they had to give him a writing credit, which means they didn't change a ton. I'm sure they changed enough, but not enough, because you could change enough of somebody's script to have him completely removed while he still has the basic framework there. So that's crazy. And that's all their fucking Writers Guild rules or whatever the fuck they are.
Unlimited amount of realities about the way they make this shit that remind me they don't give a fuck about the script writing process. They just don't care. Just get it done.
Beatty revealed that he only wrote the screenplay for the original feature film that the show was based on and never collaborated with the series writers, while also mentioning Solo's box office performance as the reason for the Kenobi movie never getting made. In other words, Solo lost money.
Oh yeah.
Right. I don't know. Right. So not none. I wrote the film that they based the show on. So yeah, I spent like a year and a half working on it. And then when the decision was made not to make any more spin-off films after Solo came out, I left the project and went on to other things. Joby came on, took my scripts and turned it in from 2 hours into 6. So I did not work with them at all. I just got credit for the episodes because it was all my stuff.
Your stuff sucks.
By the way, that wasn't no fucking 6 hours.
No, not even
No,
close.
it
Take out
was-
the padding, we end up with probably 2 hours, yeah, at most.
At most 2 hours. So you got like, I'll be generous with that first episode. You got like 40 minutes in the first episode. Then it was like 32, 33, 32, 33, and then like 40 minutes in that last one. So like
if you took the if you took the catch up though from the beginning and
I'm telling you that.
to the end, it's like 28 minutes an episode for some of these episodes.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours. Beatty also revealed that his original story pitched to Lucasfilm in 2016 involved convincing them of 3 stories. For Obi-Wan, the first would have ended up becoming the series' first season, and the second looked ahead to the Jedi Master's lead up to A New Hope. So this is how we're going to get at least 2 more seasons of Obi-Wan. We're going to get them. They're going to use his ideas. So when I pitched my Obi-Wan story to Lucasfilm, I said, there's actually 3 stories here. No, there's no stories here because there's 3 different evolutions that the character has to make in order to go from Obi-Wan to Ben. I want you to think about that. What are those? I mean, if you want to talk about him being in solitude, training himself, occasionally keeping an eye on the boy, maybe, killing a couple of Tusken Raiders. Beyond that, what? Surrender to the will of the Force. Pretty sure he did that already. Isn't he a Jedi Master?
Oh, I feel so weird that it's like they're saying like, oh yeah, this is going to be the goal for Obi-Wan's arcs, and you're just like, wait, what? Since when were these things not already the case? Who did you decide that this is just the idea is like we have to do these 3 components to push him from character that is also this character. You're just like, what? It just feels like they're inventing shit to have him do.
Yeah, and the first one was the first movie, which was the show, which was surrender to the will of the Force, transport your will, surrender your will, leave the kid alone. So then the second movie was thinking about where Kenobi ends up, and one of the most powerful and probably the most powerful moment in all of Obi-Wan's story is the moment where he sacrifices himself in A New Hope. Great moment, makes you cry. But if you stop and think about it, it's a pretty sudden thing. No, it's not. No, it's perfect in the film. Are you trying to say you're going to improve on a moment in fucking Star Wars?
I'm sure they feel that way about this current season. It improves A New Hope.
Oh, yeah, right. To just go off and being a fighting guy to see Luke and then go, I gotta die. That to me, that required forethought. That required pre-acceptance that was going to happen.
God, what are they going to do?
He's the mentor. So we don't, it's like, dude, this goes back as far as storytelling. It is part of the mentor's place in a story. The mentor is supposed to die in a lot of stories. We don't need to know what led up to that. He tells us that in a couple of, sitting down, anecdotal story. That's it. Less is more.
As far as I'm concerned, part of it is that because he smiles, and as the audience, even Vader, it's a little bit like, what are you up to? But the reality is, of course, that this is an opportunity for Kenobi to seal in front of Luke that this guy is bad news. You need to kill him. You need to end him. And so by killing me, that's going to encourage Luke dramatically. And it does. That helps contextualize the whole, like, you didn't tell me he was my dad. And instead of Obi-Wan saying, well, you see, they changed their idea halfway through making the trilogy. But no, instead he says, from a certain point of view and all that, because he doesn't want Luke to be distracted from killing Vader. And to be fair, of course you do that if you're Obi-Wan, because every time you try and kill Vader, something stops you, be it the script or an assumption that he's dead.
Well,
whatever
what
it might
stops him
be.
is there's 3 films that have already been made 40 years ago. So this shit just going to get tired. It's going to get real fucking tired.
Well, it's already.
This whole, like, providing extra context to help the audience understand it. Are they actually going to have him, like, write out, like, if I get a chance to be killed by Vader in front of Luke, I'll take it, because that would mean that Luke would hate him from then on and find it easier to kill him. That's my plan.
That's weird, because 40 years ago, there was no context other than the actual films, and it told it pretty well.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? They just keep adding to it, helping us out.
We think you're fucking stupid and fucking dumb and retarded because you're just popcorn munching consumers. So we're just gonna put this in to help you understand.
Well, that shit became clear as day when they explained Reva's arc like 10 times over in the actual episode. They kept doing it. Like, in case you don't get it.
Yeah. Reva sees herself in that little blonde boy laying down. The writer continued to elaborate on what he envisioned for the second story for Obi-Wan Kenobi, describing how Ewan McGregor would deal with his mortality to dovetail into Kenobi's sacrifice in his cinematic Death Star battle against Darth Vader. So again, it's one of those universal things we struggle with. To repurpose other people's bullshit into garbage. Okay. To come to terms with our own mortality. So I wonder if Star Wars has come to terms with its own mortality. So that was the second step of the evolution for me, that Obi-Wan now has to come to terms with his own mortality somehow in a prophecy, or Qui-Gon telling him there's going to come a moment where you're going to have to sacrifice yourself for the good. So insinuating that Qui-Gon might have come in earlier, maybe not, maybe later, who knows? What? No. I'm here to help. I can't. No. And get him to the point where Obi-Wan has accepted the idea that he's going to die, and that he's going to die willingly at a crucial moment. And you will know when the moment presents itself.
Sounds so shit.
Oh.
It's like they're trying to be hype generators for the OT or something, like cheerleaders. Like,
yeah,
there's gonna be a time where you will die, and he's like, oh, I don't want to do that, and it's like, no, you do want to, because it's a good thing that you do. And then they look at the screen, they're like, do you remember that scene, guys? It was pretty good. We're on our way.
Well, listen to this part. So that when that moment comes up, that's how they wrote it. So that when that moment comes up in A New Hope, you understand. Did you not understand it?
I thought I understood it, but I guess I didn't.
No, I'm glad that they spelled it out to me, because, you know, it wasn't done in Star Wars 1977 when it was Kenobi clearly knew what he was doing and what he was sacrificing to let the others get away.
He's let me finish. I'll let you know what I think. He's recognizing he's been on this journey already, and he's waiting for his moment, and that's how he's able to make it so easily to do this sacrifice and die. So that, to me, was the second evolution in the second film, the second story. Okay, I got it. So for me, if it has anything to do with the second season of Obi-Wan, that's the character evolution that I would take him. That, to me, is really interesting. And like I said, universal. Okay. Yeah, they're making this show kind of like how John Campea talks to the audience, like they're adult 5-year-olds. You didn't understand Obi-Wan's sacrifice. You didn't understand all the subtlety that George Lucas either accidentally or on purpose put in there by not giving us a ton of context, basically on the advice of John Milius, by the way. Less is more. We have to provide context for every action, every single action. I need to know where Leia got her white dress. I need to know who did her hair in the cinnamon buns. I need to know how that started. We need context for everything now. In other words, we have no fucking stories to tell with this giant property we paid for. Fucking done.
Well, see, you joke, but at the end of A New Hope, I'm pretty sure when I first saw it, I asked my dad, like, where did she get the holster from? I don't understand. That didn't make much sense. My dad was like, oh, they've talked about this. In decades from now, they are going to answer that question.
One day, son, all of this will be revealed to you.
It'll all make sense. And you'll think, oh, wow, the OT's good now. It wasn't before. Now it is.
The writer also revealed that both Lucasfilm and McGregor are on board with the idea. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Ewan was on board. Yeah.
He's clearly on board
not
for
get paid for
anything.
3 movies.
I like his acting, but like, yeah, he's clearly willing to do anything with Obi-Wan. Doesn't matter what it is.
Remember in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when they get to Gus Van Sant when they're doing Goodwill Hunting 2? No, hey, Gus, we got a new scene. He's all counting. Don't bother me, Ben. Counting.
Yeah.
Counting his money. That's what he's doing. That's what Ewan was doing. Fuck Kevin Smith, by the way. And we're so excited to do it. Yeah, you looked excited. Beatty was devastated when he found out the project was no longer going ahead as the movie. It was just dying to be done, you know. Unfortunately, it was Solo. That changed the direction of the system. I like Solo personally, but it hadn't made a lot of money. Oh no! It didn't make any money?
It lost money. Solo lost money.
It is crazy in some ways. You think about it, how it was directed by one of the best filmmakers working today, but just because it didn't hit a certain number, They just had to rethink it, and again, way above my pay grade. And the reason they rethought it was because they saw the reaction to The Last Jedi was a direct result of what happened to Solo, besides it being just fucking terrible. But that's business, you know, highs and lows. I'm glad I got to make it. I'm glad the show got made. I'm proud of my story that got told. I'm glad my characters are all through it, and I'm glad I got credit for it. I wish they'd have been able to make my movies. So there you go. Your big Kenobi series, your big hit, was a repurposed fucking movie script. That's all. And they padded it with about, well, let's be generous, 35 minutes. People eat it up though, dude.
It really did. Especially, it is true that it's the most popular thing Disney put out on D+.
D+ must not be that popular. That's the problem.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.
If you like what I do here, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. It really does help. And if you did this with your favorite YouTuber as well, I'm sure they would appreciate it as much as I do.